What's going on, everybody? My name is Courtney-Jai, welcome back to my channel. It's very nice to have you here. Now today I'm going to be talking about sexuality and continuing on this sexual journey, which that sounds really wrong.
Damn right, I like the life I live, cause I went from negative to positive and it's all.
Hello everybody, my name is Courtney-Jai and welcome back to my channel. It's very nice to have you here today. Today we are talking about sexuality in the workplace. We're continuing this journey about sexuality and all its little endeavours and obstacles on this adventure what we call life. If you're all wondering who is that guy making stupid knobbish noises in the background, that is my neighbour Gary. He's also a very good friend of mine, if not one of my best friends now, because he's just awesome and he's so understanding, and I actually work with him, which is one of the things I'm going to talk about later on in this video.
Where are you going today, Timothy? Just going on a sexual journey with Courtney-Jai, actually.
Shut up.
Be back at dinner, bye mum.
Where I currently work. I work in the construction industry. I work as a refrigeration engineer, and I once worked alongside an older engineer. He was about 50, which kind of maybe explained his point of view on certain situations in the world. So in his own words, he said to me, the reason why the world is so effed up is because the gays can get married. And he went on to tell me this is because of the wars, this is because of, you know, children dying, famine, struggling with resources, and I was just like, how can you even comprehend that? How can you even put those two things together and say that comes out with that? That does not compute in my mind. The next negative experience I want to talk about is when I actually first come out. I put it on Facebook that I was bisexual. I'd realised after many years of being in denial, and the head chef I worked with was really nice about it. He was also my friend, and he said, that's great that you've come out, I'm really happy for you, it's cool that you're being you. The problem I had was with the other chef, and he was only a couple of years younger than me, which even shocked me about, with him being within my age group, I thought he'd be just as educated as I was. Turns out he wasn't. He thought it was disgusting, he thought it was gross, he never really talked to me again the way he did before, and he always used to tell me how like he thought gay sex was gross, and it always brought into my mind like, why is someone who is straight thinking about gay sex all the time? Like I always find that a surprising factor when it comes to people who are homophobic. And the third and final negative point what I want to make is because I'm a YouTube creator. One of the problems with being a YouTube creator is I put my content out there for younger audiences to find it, older audiences to find it, just generally the audience what needs to find it for it to be there and something to help them out. Not everybody has that handhold or that person to talk to, and I hope that I can be that person for them. The problem with this is that, you know, I'm only me and I put it out there and I don't expect everyone to watch it, and sometimes people who do watch it are not the intended person. So I had this happen to me with another engineer that I worked with. I've been working with him for a while. I thought that we were good friends, and he found out that I was bisexual, and first he was in denial about it. And he even went on to say that he couldn't look at me the same way, and that kind of like shocks me and hurts me because I'm not a different person. My sexuality is what it is, but it doesn't change who I am. As soon as someone finds out what my sexuality is, I don't all of a sudden become more flamboyant or, you know, more gay as people would say. I just be me, and I just feel a bit more comfortable not having to kind of hide that secret away from people. He even went on to say that because I'm currently dating a girl, you all know her, she is very beautiful, her name's April, that I'd made my choice, and that's not how my sexuality works. I'm always attracted to men, I'm always attracted to women, I just choose to be in a relationship with someone who I love, and that's just how my sexuality works. Which is another thing what kind of confused me, because a lot of people don't understand what my sexuality is, and it pretty much is 50-50. You know, just because I'm with somebody doesn't mean I'm going to also leave them to be with somebody else. That's just not in my personality, it's not in my characteristics, and it's not me. Like, I like being monogamous, I like being with that single person. And for others that may be different, and that may be where the bisexual stereotype comes from, but for me that's not my case. Fortunately, that situation has been resolved and we're okay. It's fine, like there's no problems there anymore. But that initial like finding out of who I was is so shocking to them, and their reaction is so shocking to me, that sometimes you're not prepared for that, and now I'm more prepared than ever. I'm ready for anybody who finds out what my sexuality is, because sometimes you have to be, because sometimes it's out of your hands. I think the point I'm trying to make with these negative situations is that you have to be careful with who you come out to, because when you go into the workplace, you go in blind. It's not like when you have your family. You know your family, you know who your mum is, you know who your dad is, you know who your friends and the rest of your family is. So you generally know what their reaction is going to be, and if it's hard for you to come out to them, imagine coming out to a blind stranger, someone you've never met before, someone who is so in the dark that, you know, when you first say hi, they could be anybody. They can choose to be anybody they want because you're a new person. So I'd say be careful. And I'd also say be careful about what you post on social media, because sometimes information you don't want to get out there comes back to bite you in the butt. People find secrets out which you were never meant to reveal, and sometimes that can make a very awkward situation, and it can make a very intolerable situation to be in the workplace. So let's talk about some positives, because we've talked about way too many negatives already. Now, I'm currently filming in Gary's flat, who is my friend. I've mentioned him in a couple other videos. I'm currently using his camera as well because my camera broke. And he knows about my sexuality. Well, if he didn't, he'd know now because I've made a video about it while he's in the room. Shocker, Gary! I'm the bisexual!
Oh my god!
And I create wars and death and destruction.
Children!
The children. So yeah, basically Gary is a humongously huge friend to me. It's not taking you away! It's not taking you! It's not taking you away! Basically, Gary is a really good friend to me. He helps me out a lot. He's basically the shoulder to cry on when I'm going through a lot in my life, and I'm really, really happy to have him as a friend, and I'm really happy to call him one of my best friends because he's just awesome in general.
Love you.
Ah, that's really sweet. That's nice.
The children.
The children. I guess the point I'm making from this is sometimes that coming out and revealing your sexuality can increase the bond between you and another person, because they can tell you their secrets, and sometimes that can open up to understanding someone a lot better on a deeper level, and sometimes that's really important for a friendship. I think some of the other positives I've had when I've worked in the workplace is that I've had really great bosses who have treated me with just as much respect as other people, and I know you would expect that, but you don't always get that. Some people look down upon you when you reveal your sexuality, so that is one positive for me. I've always worked for people who are very considerate towards who I am, and they've never felt like to alienate me in any situation because of my sexuality. And I think that's about everything, guys. I think that's all the points I want to make about working and sexuality. If there's anything you feel like I've missed, put it in the comments below. If any of you guys have had different experiences in the workplace with your sexuality, or someone find out who you are in the workplace, please put in the comments down below, because it doesn't just help me discovering about your stories, it helps other people and helps them being able to talk to someone and learn that this might happen and this might happen, and it prepares them for future life. As I've said in many other videos, I'm giving you the option to talk to me on any of my social medias. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, drop me a message if you want to talk about sexuality, or if you just want a friend to talk to. I'm happy to be there, I'm happy to be the person to talk to you. Just drop me a message, I'll put those in the links below. I'm gonna say love, peace and chicken grease. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.